Yes.
Yeah, people bring in some pretty cool stuff.
They do. Okay.
And you want to make sure the consumer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the little secret I was going to let you in on is we actually have a website. Okay.
I know about this.
Yes.
My friend, one of my best friends loves it. He swears by it. He finds like rare baseball cards, helmets, you name it. Yeah. Welcome to United We Podcast, the official podcast of the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce, the only chamber podcast in South Texas. I'm your host, Arreola Jr., and we're here to explore the latest business insights, community stories, and opportunities shaping the coastal bend. Whether you're a business owner or just passionate about our region, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back, Chamber family and friends, to United We Podcast. Today we are joined by Dr. Amanda Garcia from Goodwill Industries.
Yes.
Doctor?
Yes. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Of course.
Get to know, we just celebrated a big grand opening on one of your newest locations.
We did. Our Northside store, South Staples. Yes.
So that one, you want to explain? So it was pretty different than maybe the typical setup. It looks like you guys are innovating in your space.
We are. You know, many people don't know that Goodwill is a nonprofit.
Right.
We're actually a social enterprise. So that means that the money that we earn through our thrift stores is reinvested into our mission. And so to reinforce our mission, which is creating jobs and job opportunities for those in our communities, we've started opening what we call job connection centers directly within our stores. So any new or renovated store, we're taking a piece of that square footage and we are allocating that to basically a learning center. So we have computers in there. It's to allow people who need that job training and that skills training to have reliable internet technology access, meeting with our career coaches, et cetera. So that's definitely what you're going to be seeing throughout South Texas.
Well, and I've been familiar with the evolution of you guys in that space of I guess, workforce development.
Absolutely.
And but I guess getting into the business itself, like you just talked about it, you guys are a nonprofit. In many ways, too, you guys have worked yourself into, like you mentioned, tax. What did you say it was?
A social enterprise.
A social enterprise.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know when I fill out my taxes, it's like you give to Goodwill.
That's right.
That's pretty significant to be able to do that. But I guess, can you share to the folks in the audience, how that all works, that economy works, if you will?
Yeah, absolutely. So we operate our business model, right? So our thrift stores basically provide the funding to fund our mission. So that's what makes us a social enterprise. So we have to earn the money to fulfill our mission. Many other organizations are similar to this, right? But many people know us only as a thrift store. They only understand the retail side of things, and they don't understand that our entire mission is to create jobs and workforce readiness within our communities. So every time you make a donation and you bring your donation to either a thrift store or a donation station, the sale of that donation, get this, 96 cents. I just ran the math for our impact report from last year. 96 cents of every dollar that we bring in because of your donations goes directly back to our mission. $96 cents.
Wow.
So only 4 cents are going to our administration fees, right? So we are so proud of that. There's many other for-profit thrift stores throughout our territory. We operate all the way from Bronzeville to Victoria, and we do see a lot of other for-profit thrifts coming into this market. And those are giving around, I don't know, we ran some numbers, it was around like 2 cents to 4 cents per dollar. So it's inverted.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not to say you guys are a pretty big organization.
Oh, yeah.
You had administrators, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's 20 counties, and it's big. It's big. Just in the last 5 years alone, we have provided our mission services to 27,500 individuals.
How cool.
Isn't that great?
No, it's amazing. And it's needed. It's needed.
It is.
Well, one big pillar of our mission at the Chamber of Commerce, every year we reevaluate our annual goals. And one of them always is workforce development as it relates to retaining our talent, keeping our talent, support for veterans in workforce space. I'm assuming you guys do that pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Veterans are a huge focus for us, and really anyone with a barrier to employment. We also, I like to relate it to the average person. Let's say it's your aunt or uncle who perhaps stayed home for the last 8 to 10 years caring for an elderly person or a loved one. Now they don't have those same workforce skills. They don't know anything about AI.
Right.
They don't have Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, all of that recent evolutionary knowledge of those software applications. Maybe they don't know how to even update their resume in a way that's meaningful for today's workforce. not to mention mock interviews, et cetera, how to search online for a job. All of those things can be barriers to employment for someone who's just been out of the market for a while.
Right.
So we work with those people all the way to perhaps someone who was previously incarcerated, who's looking for a second chance. And we are a second chance organization. So we will help them upskill. We will help them gain Google certificates, different certifications. And what I love about our model, again, that many people don't understand, is that we employ career coaches that take someone from the second they walk into that door until they are in the workforce. And we're not talking about being employed at Goodwill. We're talking about being employed within our community, right? And having a job really does change someone's family tree. It changes their outlook on life. You know, it makes a big difference when someone is self-sustained.
Sure.
And we like to say we give a hand up, not a hand out. And that is really our mission. So every time you donate, that's where your money goes.
That's what you're doing. You're giving a hand up. Well, and I'm glad you brought up kind of the workforce programs, and especially to help people put their foot back in the door, like you mentioned. I went to college with someone, and I won't call his name out, but he did get incarcerated for making a very unfortunate mistake.
Yeah.
Young people do that.
Absolutely.
And I think what you do see that challenge is if you can't get a job at all to show that experience or that you are, you know, capable, credible, that you will show up if you get hired. That first step is, I imagine, huge.
Absolutely. It really is. It really is. And we see so many testimonials. You know, we have a great video on our website that is hearing directly from those that have been impacted. And there's one person, or a couple of them actually in that video, who are second chancers. And just to see the way that their lives have been changed is just remarkable. Everybody deserves that.
Right.
Yeah.
To make a livelihood.
Yes.
Well, look, for a while, it was certainly trending. I still think it is. We have an employee here that she had a really nice blouse the other day. I complimented her, and she goes, "Well, thanks. I got this at Goodwill."
I got it at Goodwill.
Have you ever had a find that you could not believe yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let you in a little secret.
You get to see things first.
No, I wish. No. That is a myth we should debunk. You know what? I should have brought you a list of myths to debunk. That is one of them, actually, is that our employees get the best stuff. And we actually have a policy, believe it or not, guys, we have a policy.
I believe it.
That you're not allowed to either shop at your own store, you can't buy things at full price, you know, just to make sure that we are maintaining that reputation.
Sure,
so that people understand when they're donating, it's actually being sold to the public. You know, so anyway. But yes, oh my gosh, what was I going to say?
Well, I can imagine there's policies for a reason. Is that people bring in some pretty cool stuff.
They do. Okay.
And you want to make sure the consumer.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. And so the little secret I was going to let you in on is we actually have a website. Okay.
I know about this. My friend, one of my best friends, loves it. He swears by it. He finds like rare baseball cards, helmets, you name it.
So it's shopgoodwill.com/Corpus Christi. So just to reiterate, shopgoodwill.com/Corpus Christi. And when things are donated, our stores, we process it in the back, right? So you make a donation, we go through those donations, we pull out things that perhaps we shouldn't be selling in the store, and we find ways to sell those at a secondhand market to maybe what we call demanufacture them. So we want to get to a zero waste, right? So even if we can't sell it, we'll find a way to demanufacture that. But then we also pull what we call the good stuff. So if we think that we could sell it for more than, let's say, $20 to $25 in a store, we'll pull that and we give it to our online team, which employs people with disabilities or barriers to employment. It's pretty cool.
It is cool.
We actually do these monthly lunch and learns where you can get a tour. I invite everyone to go to our website and click on Contact Us and sign up because you get to see behind the scenes of our e-commerce team.
I didn't know this.
You should come. Okay, you're officially invited. Right. We're going to get you on the books and your team. But it is great. And so what happens is we authenticate everything that's pulled to make sure that it comes with a certificate of authenticity. You're right. You can find collectible cards, shoes, jewelry. There was like a couple of cameras on. I mean, just amazing finds. But that's where you find the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, like all that stuff is on shopgoodwill.com/Corpus Christi. So definitely check it out. I've heard some people say, I donated this stuff and I don't see it in the store. That's because it's on e-com. Because we can get more money for it.
Sure.
You know, it's almost like an eBay kind of platform.
Right. Yeah. Well, and really I saw that. It was like auction, right?
Yes.
It's almost like a bid. You make a bid on it.
Exactly. Very eBay-esque, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, eBay in its heyday was a fun place to be. Yeah. So they got those vibes from that format as well.
Exactly.
Well, so you mentioned the /Corpus Christi.
Yes.
So this is everywhere.
Everywhere.
But fulfillment happens.
It does for the items here.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. That's very cool.
Yeah. So you can find things nationwide, right? Which is awesome. And then people nationwide can find ours. which is pretty cool. But we like to tell people in our market to look at us first, look at our items first, and then, go from there.
Well, getting back into the store itself, something I noticed on the new grand opening that we just had, the one on Staples, that looked like there was new product,
new goods.
New goods?
So we do have some new goods. Right. So we can't upcycle everything, right? So we can't upcycle mattresses, some food items, et cetera, because of, hazardous concerns, right? Sure. Or safety concerns. So the new goods that we supply in the stores could be things, and they are things that when you're going through the cash wrap and the line, you'll see candies, socks, things that we're not able to upcycle. Those sorts of things will be there. But yeah, right now we have a few little Halloween, we're coming in.
Decorations,
a little couple decorations, things like that. Again, and we call those as part of our new goods rollout.
Okay. Well, I know you guys also are not short of events. You guys do events,
so many events,
activations.
Yes,
Is there something coming up? Or
we have a few things coming up, actually. Yeah, I have two things I'd love to mention, especially for our chamber members.
Sure.
Many of us have connections throughout our entire, South Texas region. We have an initiative that we launched last year called Mission Multipliers. And I'm sure many of our members listening to this have probably heard of it because I've either contacted you or your student has. And we just had a great partnership kickoff with CCISD. We're so proud of. They've just been an excellent partner. But we are able to provide service hours in exchange for donations. So if you have kiddos or any connections at any schools, private schools, charter schools, or whatever, we'll take them. We'll take those contacts. Just reach out to me or somebody on my team because we reach out to these different schools and host these donation drives. And all of those donations go right back to our mission services. Last year, we were able to collect 42,000 pounds of donations from our students here locally, and they earned service hours. So that was just phenomenal. So we are always looking for those connections as well.
Okay.
And then we have a new signature event that we're super proud of and very excited about. Imagine, do you like Project Runway? You strike me as a Project Runway kind of person.
I mean, I won't say that I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I've seen it.
Don't lie. Okay. So this is basically Project Runway meets Goodwill.
Okay.
So we're asking high school and college students to compete. A&M Corpus Christi and
This is a modeling show, right?
Fashion and modeling, absolutely. So Driscoll Health Plan and TAMU CC have both come to the table with some scholarship money. So we're going to be giving away $5,000.
How cool.
In scholarships to students designing these amazing pieces. So the reason we're doing it's a fundraiser for our mission, but it also is allowing us to really educate that next generation of shopper and donor, right? And so that they learn more about our mission and are advocates for us and brand ambassadors as they get older and have their own kids, et cetera. So on our website, you can find more info, or Work the Runway is what it's called. Work, i.e. our work programs, and our Work, W-E-R-K.
Very clever.
Right? Yeah.
Very clever.
So Work the Runway, STX.com.
And where are they getting the fashion from? From the store?
Yeah.
That's
so there's
so clever.
it's going to be so fun. So round one is open to anybody who wants to enter. And then we have judges who are big fashion people from the entire South Texas region.
Y'all do this annually or is new?
This is the first one.
Wow.
Yes. And so we really, really need sponsors. Oh my gosh. We are, again, we're trying to make this a really big fundraiser and reach as many students as possible. And then we're going to be selling tickets to the runway show.
And student age range? Is there a range?
High school or college.
High school, college. Okay.
Yeah, freshman, high school to senior or collegiate. And man, have I seen the kids in the Coastal Bend step up.
How cool.
Fashion programs, fashion clubs, and they are so into it. And we're hearing from people we've never done anything like this in this market.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping it's really fun and educational stuff.
Well, fun makes an impact. It tells a story, everything you communicate.
Yes.
That's
we just finished.
Great formula.
It really is. We just finished a year-long community needs assessment where we looked at Coastal Bend, Rio Grande Valley, Golden Crescent, and we found two things for youth and young adults that really were alarming to me. Mental health. Number one biggest challenge. It came from surveys as well as participant data and focus groups. The second was we had mental health and mentorship. Mentorship was number two. There is just this lack of mentorship in the community. Maybe that's something we could partner with the United Chamber members to help solve, right?
Absolutely.
So when we wanted to create an event, we wanted something that would really combat those two things. And doing some research, I found that creativity was named over and over and over again as a way to help alleviate mental health struggle and issues, as well as provide those mentorship opportunities. And so that's really what this event is geared towards, those young adults and youth who are struggling with those two items. And so we are hitting that as many times as possible through the programming of this event.
So I'm assuming this might be one of your children, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you off camera, you had mentioned your experience in Tulane, how you helped set up their comms department,
design. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's you're putting your hands on projects like this here for Goodwill to try to find gaps.
Absolutely.
Work the data.
Exactly. So I'm a big data nerd.
Yeah,
I'm a big data nerd. Yeah. I actually started my career here at A&M Corpus Christi back in 2004.
Okay.
Landed here. My husband is from here. Grew up in Calallen. He had a job lined up. He's an architect.
Okay.
And he said, "We're moving to Corpus." And I said, "Where is that?" And do they have a college, right? Because I was just finishing my master's in fine arts and design is my focus. And I hit up A&M Corpus Christi and they said, "Well, we have one class and it's called digital imaging." And I said, "Great, or electronic imaging actually." And they were basically trying to cover the entire field of design in this one class using like Photoshop for everything, like way back. I mean, 2004, right? This is like way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Please let me help you." And so somebody luckily was retiring, and they took that faculty's salary and broke it into two. Love that for me. And I got part of it and started as like an assistant professor. And we built that design program from scratch starting in 2004. And before I left A&M Corpus, we had a full undergraduate and full master's degree and left it in amazing hands. One of my amazing friends and colleagues has took it over after I left and went to Tulane to do the same thing. Tulane recruited me to kind of help them out as well. So I built out their design program there. So creativity and design is always on the forefront of my mind, whether it's creative thinking or problem solving. So important.
Well, then I'll tell you what, we owe you a debt of gratitude here at the United Chamber. Many of our staff comes from that space.
Oh, no way.
They learned from that at A&M. And so
very cool.
If not, then they might have been learning a whole set of different things.
Yeah. I had some students call me their godmother, and I was like, "Call me your fairy godmother, okay? Because that just sounds too old."
Well, you mentioned all the pounds donated, and so Gloria had brought this by the day.
That's right.
And so I guess, what did we do here? We
Yes. So this is part of, we had in the month of April, and this is going to come up again. April is Earth Month, as you're aware, right? And so we have a big Earth Month initiatives. You know, my CEO, John, he's great, and he likes to joke, but I mean, it's true. And he says, "We're the original recycler, Goodwill." And I'm like, "You're right, John, we are."
I can see that.
Yeah. And I mean, forever, right?
From
our very inception, early 1900s. And so Earth Month is a big, big month for us. And we really, especially looking at Gen Z and Gen Alpha, which again is that next generation, we really want to hone in on our sustainability push because we know that's so important to them, and we don't tell that story enough, right? So we partnered with companies, agencies, the United Chamber of Commerce, et cetera, to say, "Hey, bring your electronic waste," because people don't realize we also collect e-waste.
Right. And or that you need to separate e-waste.
Exactly. And Goodwill has a longstanding partnership with Dell, and they have a program called Dell Reconnect, specifically for Goodwill. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Sure.
I think it is specifically workable. And they purchase by the pound electronic e-waste donated. Doesn't have to be a Dell product, right?
Sure.
And then they, again, demanufacture that and use it as they can. So again, we're trying to get to that zero waste. So in the month of April, we have our giant e-waste drives. And you guys really stepped up. I think we collected, how much was it? 4,400 pounds of e-waste from you guys, which is just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had some old stuff.
That's awesome. Yes, we really appreciate it.
Well, no, thank you. Thank you. You made our jobs easier too.
Good.
Well, we're getting close to the minute mark. I wanted to make sure you had an opportunity to share any last thoughts you had or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would just encourage everyone to go to our website, goodwillsouthtexas.com, and just learn more about our mission. If you can host a donation drive at your place of work, we would love that. Contact anybody that you find online, contact me. And then again, any contacts with Mission Multipliers or any sponsorships, we would love any assistance you can provide.
Well, Dr. Garcia, I thank you for your time. I thank you for all your work you're doing in the community. It is making an impact.
You guys as well.
Thank you so much. I also want to thank our audience for joining us, and we will see you again next time.